where it was like, no, now I'm gonna just say it. Yeah. But now when I'm saying it,
it's just coming out.
It's just coming out as is. Yeah. No type of filter, no type of consideration, no type of kindness if it needed kindness. No, just straight up. And for me, it's like, no, I said what was real, so whatever I said wasn't wrong. Yeah. So you wrong. Because I said what I said, I kept it real, I kept it a buck, and you're the problem because of how you're receiving it. But it's like, nah, Charlie, like, you got to learn how to speak to people. You got to learn how to deliver. You got to learn when. You got to learn when to be quiet. You got to learn how to be gentle when you say things that are real. You have to learn all these things. You can't just say it because it's true. Yeah. So I went for, it was like an extreme for me. It was like I went from shutting completely down, I don't have nothing to say, to saying exactly what it is with no type of filter, no type of anything, no type of consideration for anybody else's feelings. So I had to work out of that and work through that. But this all stemmed from a little child, you know what I mean? Wagwan, my name is Charlie Sakurin. Welcome to my page. This is a space where one question or one thought can take us on a complete journey. So no small talk, man. Only real talk. So y'all, what we doing? What we doing? What we doing? What we doing, huh? What we doing, huh?
Okay, so the question for you today is, what parts of your personality were punished, and how have you learned to hide or soften them?
Oh. Charlie question.
Charlie question.
What parts of myself was
personality?
Was I forced to hide?
Were punished. What parts of your personality were punished, and how have you learned to hide or soften them?
What parts of my personality were punished, and how was I forced to hide them? Yeah. Yikes. Whew. Parts of my personality that definitely being outspoken, expressive, emotional, sensitive, different, so many ways, but I'm gonna start with those. Okay, so
how'd you hide them? Or did you hide them?
Okay, so when it comes to being sensitive and emotional, I was forced to hide those because I grew up in a family that was not expressive. I grew up in a Caribbean household, number one. Number two, I grew up around a bunch of drug dealers and hustlers and a lot of other things that I won't say, you know what I mean? So emotions weren't a thing in my household. We literally heard, like, don't cry, we don't cry around here, or like, you know what I'm saying, don't cry for I give you something to cry about. All that stuff, like, you're fine, don't cry, or you just got hurt, don't cry, like, you're good. So growing up, I literally began to hide when I cried and stop crying. I just started to go in a corner and cry, or maybe I went in the bathroom to cry, or maybe I went to my room to cry and let it all out and then come back out again, which is crazy because saying that out loud, I realized that I still do that.
Yeah, girl, you do.
I definitely still go somewhere to cry. Now, granted, I'll cry right now if I feel like crying, and that's just the emotion that I feel, but I definitely still go to a safe space to cry. Wow, okay, noted. Another thing that I was forced to hide was being expressive. So I was very outspoken. Yeah. So if there was something going on that, one, I didn't agree with, or I just felt like, no, that wasn't fair, or that was wrong, or that wasn't nice, that wasn't kind, something like that, I would speak on it. But I will always get told that I'm rude, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm rude, or I'm being disrespectful for speaking out loud. So I would just shut down. I would literally just shut down. I wouldn't have much to say when many things happen because I already knew what I was going to be met with. Exactly. So I was definitely forced to hide that part of myself when it's just like, dang, like, I know I'm not wrong or I'm not tripping, but stay in a child's place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? These are all things that are so harmful to a child. Yeah. So instead of teaching me the correct way to express my feelings, or maybe say, hey, like this is how you approach, or this is how you speak to adults, or this is how you, it was just a complete shutdown, which made me shut down. And then when it's like, when you now want to talk to me and I don't want to talk to you, it's just like, oh, she's quiet or she's moody. It's like, no, I'm not moody, but I know exactly what I'm going to be met with because I'm a child. As if children don't have emotions and children can't be expressive, or children don't have a mind that works, that they want to use and understand the things that's going on around them. So for me, it's been a lot of things that I was forced to hide, and it really impacted me growing up, for real.
Yeah. I got a question on that. You said that you would hide being expressive, but another part of that was like, what did you have to hide or soften? Did you find yourself trying on your own to say things in different ways before you completely stopped being expressive? Like, were you trying to say it in better ways, or beat around the bush with things? Like, how'd you go about that? Did you?
As a child, no. I just shut down.
You just completely shut down?
Yes, and honestly, that didn't change for me until about maybe high school, remnants up until college, where it was like, no, now I'm gonna just say it. But now when I'm saying it,
it's just coming out.
It's just coming out as is. No type of filter, no type of consideration, no type of kindness if it needed kindness. No, just straight up. And for me, it's like, no, I said what was real, so whatever I said wasn't wrong. So you wrong. Because I said what I said, I kept it real, I kept it a buck, and you're the problem because of how you're receiving it. But it's like, nah, Charlie, like, you got to learn how to speak to people. You got to learn how to deliver. You got to learn when. You got to learn when to be quiet. You got to learn how to be gentle when you say things that are real. You have to learn all these things. You can't just say it because it's true. So I went for, it was like an extreme for me. It was like I went from shutting completely down, I don't have nothing to say, to saying exactly what it is with no type of filter, no type of anything, no type of consideration for anybody else's feelings. So I had to work out of that and work through that. But this all stemmed from a little child, you know what I mean? So
I love how you just took us through the journey of literally hiding that and then learning how to soften it as an adult. That's really important because I feel like as adults, we really put it on children that they don't have the capacity to navigate or understand the process of their emotions.
You ain't got a nerve in your body. What was that thing that's saying?
I don't know. That sounds some country. That's a country thing right there. Like I don't know.
You heard it.
What?
Like, you get on my last nerve. You ain't got nerves or something like that. Like,
yes. When a child.
It's literally like telling you stay in a child's place, or I'm gonna give you something to cry about. It's just like we literally be forcing kids to not have the ability to process.
Yes, and then when they get older and you're wondering why they're not expressing themselves, now it's something wrong with them, but it's like, no, you've conditioned me to be this way.
Which is that's a whole other
and I don't even know, sometimes you don't even know that the way that you've conditioned or been conditioned is wrong. You're like, no, this is not normal. This didn't happen to everybody. Oh, everybody don't talk like this? Oh, everybody don't move like this? Hold on. It's a setup for failure, for real.
The smack of, wow, this is not reality. Everybody don't move like this. That was something that was huge for me.
Yeah. So what would y'all say?
What parts of my personality were punished? I feel like this might be a little extreme, but I honestly feel like every part of my personality is punished.
Girl.
I feel like I was extremely emotionally neglected to the point where I didn't have a real personality. I feel like I overcompensated with not existing to please everybody around me. And so it was like there was just no part of me that was real at all. So no, I didn't cry. I didn't really like process anything to truly feel the depths of it. Like everything was surface level for me. I kind of felt like a robot, like a dead man walking as a kid, just because.
Yeah, I was just about to say, where'd that come from? Like, where were the foundational things for that?
I honestly don't even know. Like, I can't even remember. I feel like I don't really have a lot of memories from my childhood.
Yeah.
But I do know that I was extremely emotionally neglected to get to the point where I was a child as a dead man.
Yeah, because even you saying you don't have it, like a lot of memories, you know what I'm saying, from childhood. That sounds like trauma.
Sure.
Exactly. A lot of trauma.
I mean, my mom worked a lot.
Yeah.
And my grandma, she has schizophrenia. She used to be our caregiver a lot of the times when my mom was at work. So it was a lot of emotional neglect. I wasn't really allowed to have a personality. I wasn't allowed to be a child.
Yeah.
I was really forced to put those things aside to survive. So it's like all of the things that I could have felt, it probably did feel, just wasn't tending to myself.
Which is nuts.
More.
Tending to myself as a child.
Yeah.
Listen to that.
It probably would have hurt me a lot more than just putting them to the side to make it through the days.
Yeah.
That's deep, girl. I started
that is.
When you started off because I thought you was playing, but it got real serious.
Yeah. No, seriously.
I feel like my whole personality is gonna. I'm literally navigating, trying to identify what my personality is today because.
And honestly, watching you navigate that it's been rough.
Yeah.
Cause it's just like,
what's not. It's you're not really understanding what it is.
Yeah. That's rough. Yeah. What'd you say?
I would say the parts of me that were punished was definitely being outspoken to, just being real blunt. I just said what it was as a child, and people didn't like that. My parents didn't like it.
I know you did.
Siblings didn't like it. Like, well, really the adults. The adults are the ones I was expressing to that it was being shut down. But they was just, they didn't want to hear anything. So I definitely started hiding that. And stopped, but I also started people pleasing and giving people what they wanted to hear, speaking about stuff. Like I was hindering what I really wanted to say and saying other things because I still wanted love. I still wanted somebody to hear me. So if I gotta say something that you're gonna hear, then I'm gonna do that. Versus just being to myself, being in the corner. So that's the way I ran. So I definitely hit that. And just started doing something else that would be accepted in the environment. And that would definitely be, I mean, expressing myself too. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Expressing myself and being outspoken. I would say I definitely stop expressing myself, but I also like put on the attitude. I always had an attitude.
Yeah, I'm holding all this stuff in. Yeah.
So
it's gonna come out.
Coming out in attitude. So everybody knew me for having an attitude since very
same.
young. Like I even used to say I came out the womb with an attitude and like weird as a badge of honor because people just knew me by that. But it was because I was carrying so much anger and unexpressed emotions because nobody was listening. So it definitely translated into this anger and this attitude that I walked around with. So I guess that was another way of hiding it. It was just coming out in a different way. Yeah.
Even you saying that, it's like adults creating a lot of baggage, then picking it up and telling you to hold it.
Oh, girl.
What you just said literally just made me visualize that. Like, you're telling me I can't speak. So I'm holding things in and I'm getting angry. Now you're telling me and putting on me that I'm this angry person and that it's my fault really. It's just like, I'm just walking around like this because of me.
Like you're the problem.
I'm just acting like this because of me. And now it's just for me to carry. And it's like, no, all of this it came from y'all. From what y'all kept putting on me, what y'all kept telling me, and what y'all kept stripping from me, which is my voice. So it's just like, at this point of me being angry and having an attitude, at what point is an adult gonna pull me to the side and say, hey, what's going on with you? What's up? Like, why are you so mad? What's up, mama? Like, what's going on? At what point as an adult?
I asked that as a child. Ever, like.
Yeah, you just angry. Children aren't just angry. I don't care what nobody say. Children aren't just mad. No. They aren't just bad. They aren't just, none of those, any of those things. And it's what you just said. Nobody pulls them to the side and say, hey, what's going on? What's up? Because imagine how many children would be freed by just that simple question being asked to them.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? What's up? What's wrong? How are you feeling? What's making you feel like that? Like, what's making you respond to this like that?
Yeah.
Come
Which
on,
goes
man.
back into the stigma of people feeling like children don't have say-so.
Yes, or they
have
don't know.
emotions or aren't even aware of what's going on. We're very aware. We're actually more
Very-
aware than adults.
Very.
Childlike. Like, we're so aware.
And
Because we're curious.
Yes.
We're curious. We, like, as children, we're so curious. And I think at a certain point, a lot of adults stop being curious. So they get stuck in these places. Like, but as children, we have a lot of questions. We have a lot of things to say. Like, so we're constantly having questions, and we're constantly having things to express. We don't have these boxes of, oh, I can't do this yet. I can't express, or like, you know what I'm trying to say.
And even in that, I feel like adults miss a lot of opportunities to be compassionate and understanding, which is what I feel like children need the most, most of the time.
And they also display that to us adults a lot too.
But think about it though.
Yeah.
Think about it. When you think back, how you felt as a child is it's there. It be right there.
Exactly.
So you also hear adults talk about that a lot too, right?
Yes.
Like as a child, and it's like at no point do you think back to how you felt, how you thought, how you acted, how you moved, which lets you know as a child you were capable of feeling, thinking, being aware of things, understanding certain things. It's like meet them right there because you felt it before. You were there before. You understand. You know what's going on, which is how you're able to think back as an adult to be like, dang, that's how I felt. That's what was going on with me. Help the child.
Exactly. Because a lot of the times when it comes to children, the things that they're hiding are not going to be softened. They're just going to be silenced.
Yeah. Bar. Bar.
And I was saying, like,
Yes.
I know I answered the first part of the question when it comes to like what was punished about my personality, but I definitely learned to hide my personality by taking on the savior complex and putting all of my needs to the side to tend to everybody else's needs.
Yeah.
So that's how I hid it, by simply not existing and only
existing
being there for everybody else.
Yes, because realistically, same. And realistically, that's the only time people give you the attention and all the things that you actually really needed.
Yeah.
When I'm doing something for you, or when I'm who you need me to be, you respond to me differently. All right, well, cool. Let me keep doing that.
Yeah, because then I actually receive what I am needing. Like, literally, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But now I'm really not receiving what I need.
No, because I'm dying. I'm killing myself, really. Not being who I need myself to be, because that's wild.
Yeah. Whew. All right, man. Thank y'all for watching. See ya.